So you think you've got the present simple tense down, right? Well, you might be surprised. Today we're going to go way beyond the basics. We'll uncover some secrets that'll take your English from just good to truly great.
I mean, you probably use it all the time for your daily routines and habits, right? But are you really using it to its full potential? We're about to find out. Stick with me, and you'll discover some advanced tricks that will make you sound way more natural.
All right, let's dive in. Here's the game plan for today. We're going to start by going beyond the basics. Then we'll tackle the #1 mistake I see learners make, the whole state versus action rule. After that, get ready for a cool trick, using the present tense to talk about the future. Then we'll polish things up by figuring out where to place your adverbs. And finally, you guessed it, it's time to test yourself.
Okay, so first up, let's move beyond the basics. We're going to assume you already know the fundamentals. Today is all about those tiny little details that, honestly, make a huge difference in how fluent you sound.
So, let's jump right into the big one, the state versus action rule. Seriously, this is probably the #1 mistake intermediate learners make, and getting this right, it's a total game changer for your English.
So what are we talking about here? Well, dynamic verbs are easy. They're actions, like run or eat. But stative verbs, they're different. They describe states, things like know, love, or own. Think of them as describing a condition or a state of being, not something you're actively doing in this very second. And that's the key. That's why they almost always stick with the present simple.
For example, take a look at this. It's so common to hear someone say, "I am understanding the lesson." But that just doesn't sound quite right to a native speaker. Why? Because understand is a state. It's a mental state. You either understand or you don't. It's not an action you're performing. So the correct way is simple. I understand the lesson. It's a small change, but wow, it makes your English sound so much more natural.
Okay, so here are the main categories you need to watch out for. We've got thoughts and mental states, know, believe, then emotions like love, hate, want, senses, smell, taste, and finally possession, have, own, belong. If a verb falls into one of these buckets, that's your signal to probably use the present simple.
And here's another perfect example. She is wanting a coffee. Again, you hear it, but it's not quite right. Want is a feeling, an emotion. It describes her state of mind. It's not a continuous action she's performing. So we just say she wants a coffee. Simple, clean, and correct.
All right, moving on to our next section. This one is a bit of a surprise, a really cool hack for your English toolkit. We're talking about using the present to talk about the future. Just look at this sentence. Our plane leaves at 10:30 p.m. tomorrow. See that? We're talking about tomorrow. That's the future, but the verb is in the present simple, leaves. What's going on here?
And you might be thinking, wait a minute, isn't that the future? And yes, you are absolutely right. It is. So why on earth are we using the present tense? This isn't a mistake, I promise. It's actually a really important rule.
Here's the secret. You use the present simple for future events that are on a fixed timetable or schedule. Think about things you can't really change, like flights, official meetings, or class schedules. So you'd say, the movie starts at 8, or my class begins next week. If it's on a schedule, use the present simple. It's that easy.
Okay, next up, placing your adverbs. This is where we add the real polish. Knowing exactly where to put words like always, usually, or rarely is one of those subtle things that's key to sounding more fluent.
Right, we use adverbs all the time to add more detail, but where do they actually go in a sentence? It can be a little confusing, but for the present simple, there are basically 2 super simple rules you need to know. Okay, rule A is for pretty much all main verbs. It's simple. The adverb goes right before the main verb. So you start with your subject, like I. Then you pop in the adverb, like rarely. And then comes the verb, go. I rarely go to the cinema. Easy, right?
But, and this is a big but, there's one major exception, and that is the verb to be. For am, is, or are, the rule flips. The adverb goes after the verb. So you start with he is, then the adverb always, and then the rest. He is always late, never he always is late. That little switch makes all the difference.
All right, it is time to test yourself. You've learned the rules, now let's see if you can put them into practice. Ready? Let's see what you've learned.
Okay, quiz part A. We're choosing the correct form. For number 1, please be quiet. I try to concentrate. And number 2, I not believe
that story is true. So for each one, ask yourself, is this an action happening right now, or is it a state of mind? Go ahead and think about it.
Okay, next two. Number 3, this sauce, da-da-da, fantastic. And number 4, why da-da-da, you smell the milk, is it bad? Now this is a tricky one because sometimes sense verbs can be both stative and dynamic. It all depends on the meaning. Is it describing a general quality, or is someone performing a physical action?
Okay, switching gears for part B. Now you need to find the error. Let's look at number 5. The train is arriving at 9 p.m. tonight usually. What do you think? And number 6. She is owning 3 houses in London. Think back to our rules about timetables and possession. See if you can spot the mistakes.
Almost there. Number 7. He never is on time for meetings. Check that adverb placement. Does that look right to you? And finally, number 8. My yoga class starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Is this one correct, or is there a mistake? Don't forget our rule about future schedules. Take a second, and then we'll check the answers.
So, how'd you do? Let's check the answers. Number 1 is am trying. It's an action happening right now. For number 2, believe is a stative verb, a mental state, so it's do not believe. Number 3, the sauce tastes fantastic. That's a quality. It's stative. But in number 4, you're actively doing something, so it's are you smelling? Tricky, right? For number 5, 2 mistakes. It's a timetable, and the adverb is in the wrong spot, so it should be the train usually arrives. Number 6, own is a stative verb of possession, so it's simply she owns. And number 7, remember the rule for to be? The adverb comes after. He is never on time. And what about number 8? It was a trick question. It's already correct because a yoga class is a scheduled future event. Nice work if you caught that one.
So, let's just quickly wrap up with the key takeaways. First, remember, stative verbs like know, want, own, they generally don't use ing. Second, use the present simple for future timetables, like for flights and classes. And third, adverbs go before main verbs, but they go after the verb to be. If you can nail these 3 rules, you are going to sound so much more fluent.
Now for the real test. As you go about your day-to-day, I want you to listen. Whether you're in a meeting, watching a movie, or listening to music, try to spot these advanced uses of the present simple out in the wild. You'll probably be surprised how often you hear them now that you know what to listen for. Good luck!